Before the first mountain was climbed, someone looked at it and believed it was impossible. Before the first ship crossed an ocean, someone stood on the shore, certain that the sea marked the end of the world. Before every great discovery, before every remarkable achievement, before every life that inspired millions, there was one moment. A quiet moment, a moment where someone made a decision, not to be fearless, not to be certain, but simply to begin. Your life is waiting for that same moment. Maybe that moment is today. Most people think life changes because of massive events, winning the lottery, getting the dream job, meeting the right person. But if you look closely, you'll discover something remarkable. The biggest changes usually begin with the smallest decisions. One book, one conversation, one morning where you finally get out of bed instead of pressing snooze. One evening where you choose to work on yourself instead of escaping into distraction. Tiny choices, repeated long enough, become extraordinary lives. Imagine standing inside a vast forest. Thousands of towering trees stretch toward the sky. Each one began as something so small it could rest in the palm of your hand. A seed. Nothing more. No one would look at that tiny seed and imagine the giant hidden inside it. Yet the tree was always there. It simply needed time. The same is true for you. Your future already exists as potential. It is hidden inside today's decisions. There are two clocks that govern every human life. The first measures time, hours, days, years. The second measures transformation. The first clock never stops moving. The second only moves when you do. Some people grow old. Very few truly grow. Growing older is automatic. Growing wiser is intentional. The universe speaks in patterns. The seasons come and go. The tides rise and fall. The moon disappears, only to return brighter once again. Nothing in nature fears change. Only people do. We cling to routines that no longer serve us. We hold tightly to versions of ourselves we've already outgrown. Yet every meaningful transformation begins with letting something old end. Sometimes the hardest part of becoming someone new is saying goodbye to who you've always been. Imagine carrying a lantern through complete darkness. The light reaches only a few steps ahead, not the entire journey. Just enough for the next step. Most people refuse to move until they can see the entire road. Life doesn't work that way. Faith isn't seeing the destination. Faith is trusting the next step enough to take it. Every path becomes visible while you're walking it. Never before. There is an invisible conversation happening inside your mind every single day. One voice remembers every failure, every embarrassment, every mistake. The other remembers possibility, growth, hope, potential. Whichever voice you feed becomes stronger. This is why your environment matters. This is why the books you read matter. The people you surround yourself with matter. The thoughts you repeat matter. Because every thought is another vote for the person you'll become. Think about an arrow. Before it flies forward, it must first be pulled backward. Life often works exactly the same way. Sometimes what feels like a setback is actually preparation. Sometimes rejection is protection. Sometimes delay is development. Sometimes the universe is strengthening you for a future you cannot yet see. Don't mistake temporary resistance for permanent defeat. Every masterpiece begins as chaos. A painter starts with an empty canvas. A composer begins with silence. A sculptor begins with rough stone. Nothing extraordinary appears fully formed. Neither will your future. Allow yourself to be unfinished. Progress has never required perfection, only persistence. Walk beside a river long enough, and you'll notice something incredible. The water never argues with the rocks. It never wastes energy complaining about obstacles. It simply continues flowing. Day after day, year after year, eventually, the impossible happens. Solid stone begins to change, not because the river became stronger overnight, because it never stopped moving. Imagine what would happen if you became impossible to discourage. The strongest people you know have something in common, not talent, not intelligence, not luck. They learned how to become comfortable with discomfort, while others searched for easier paths. They became stronger walkers. They understood a truth that changes everything. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. Every morning, you wake up carrying an invisible backpack. Inside it are yesterday's choices, every promise you kept, every excuse you accepted, every habit you repeated, every lesson you learned. You decide what goes into tomorrow's backpack. Will you fill it with regret or resilience, with distractions or discipline? Every sunrise gives you another opportunity to pack wisely. Look into the night sky. The stars don't compete with one another. The moon doesn't compare itself to the sun. Every part of the universe shines in its own time. Yet people spend years measuring themselves against strangers. Comparison steals energy that should have been invested in growth. The only meaningful comparison is this: are you becoming someone yesterday's version of you would admire? If the answer is yes, you're already winning. There will be moments when no one understands your vision. Some people will laugh, others will doubt. Some will quietly hope you fail because your ambition reminds them of the dreams they abandoned. Forgive them. Not everyone is meant to understand a journey they were never called to walk. Keep building anyway. The greatest prison isn't failure, it's hesitation. Years pass while people wait for certainty. They wait for permission. They wait until fear disappears. But courage has never required fear to leave. It simply asks you to move anyway. Every great adventure in history began with uncertainty. Why should yours be any different? Think about the ocean during a storm. Above the surface, massive waves crash endlessly. Chaos, noise, violence, but deep below, everything becomes calm. The ocean teaches us something powerful. Peace isn't found by escaping storms. It's found by learning how to remain steady beneath them. Develop that kind of mind. A mind that stays anchored even when life becomes unpredictable. Imagine meeting yourself 20 years from now, not the person you hope to become, the person your current habits are creating. Would they thank you? Would they be proud of today's decisions? Would they recognize someone who fought for a meaningful life, or someone who waited too long to begin? Your future isn't built tomorrow. It's being built right now. There is no such thing as wasted effort. Even when results seem invisible, you're changing. Every difficult workout strengthens more than muscles. Every book changes more than knowledge. Every disciplined morning reshapes more than your schedule. It reshapes your identity. The world changes after your identity changes. Never before. One day, you'll look back on this season of your life. The uncertainty, the struggle, the moments you questioned yourself, and you'll smile, not because it was easy, because it was necessary. Every chapter had a purpose. Every obstacle taught a lesson. Every challenge built a strength you couldn't have developed any other way. You'll realize life wasn't happening to you. It was preparing you. So when this video ends, don't search for motivation. Motivation fades. Search for commitment. Commitment remains when emotions disappear. Choose one promise you'll keep today. Just one: wake up earlier, take the walk, read the chapter, write the page, make the call, finish what you've been avoiding. One promise, kept consistently, can alter the direction of an entire lifetime. Because your destiny is never decided in one extraordinary moment. It's decided in thousands of ordinary moments that no one else will ever see. The world celebrates the victory, but the universe remembers the preparation. So keep preparing, keep showing up, keep choosing growth, keep choosing courage, keep becoming, because somewhere ahead, a stronger, wiser, calmer, more disciplined version of you is already waiting. They aren't asking you to be perfect. They aren't asking you to move faster. They're asking only one thing: don't stop walking, because every step you take today brings you closer to becoming the person you were always capable of being. And when you finally meet that version of yourself, you'll understand that every difficult moment, every sacrifice, every early morning, every silent battle was leading you there all along.